This is Sam Reynolds in EcEn 220 Section 3 doing my Passoff video for Lab 6. As you see, we have my FPGA board already programmed with the lab, and in this lab we made a counter using registers. So I have to demonstrate that the counter works, and then I have to tabulate it for 20 button pushes to see how many times it will jump. So first I need to show what happened, make sure things are working. I have increment hooked onto switch 1 and clear hooked onto switch 0. So, and every time we push button C, that is another clock cycle, so the middle button. So I guess we'll have increment high. So we start with 1. You push it, we're going to go to 1, we're going to go to 2. No, 0, 1, 2, 3. Just making sure it was right. Then we jump, we're going to go to 4. Yeah, the LEDs are not going to be exactly accurate because of bouncing, but I'll describe that in a minute. So as we continue to increment, it continues to go up and keep counting, get added together. Obviously there's lots of bouncing going on. If we turn off increment, it takes off the last one like it should. If we hold up clear, it also takes the last one, but we have to do the next clock cycle because of the delays to clear back down to 0. I also need to show that when clear and ink are both inserted, so let's see what happens. So let's do ink. Let's go through a certain amount of clock cycles. Let's do a couple more. Okay, and if clear is both up and we try to increment, it will just stay the same. And we saw that on the waveform, that if clear is high and ink is high, then whatever the last previous one was, count goes back to, so whenever clear, it would just go back down to the previous one and stay that way, which is the function that we were supposed to implement. So now, when it does nothing after we clear, we have to have clear up and then press the clock. So when it does nothing, nothing is lit up. When you have clear up by itself, it's already 0, so nothing is going to happen there. Okay, so now let's do the 20 button pushes to see how many times that it jumps. So, let me just make sure I have everything right. That's right, because the LEDs 0 through 4 are going to keep track of what the current output of Q is, and then the other from 4 to 7 keeps track of the next value. So if we were to have increment up right now, the next value starting on number 4 is going to be 1. So if we do a clock, that becomes a 1. Next one becomes a 2, 2, or 1, 3, and then we're gonna do it again. Now at 4, so we've already bounced once. We have 5, we have 6, we have 7. Okay, we've bounced again. Actually, no, we haven't bounced again. We have 8. We have 9. Okay, so we just had a bounce there, so I'll just write bounce. Alright, bounce again. Let's keep going. We have another digit. That's good. We have all 1s, which is good. Now we've bounced back to 1, so I'll do a bounce. So that pushes it back to where it was. We only have 4 digits, so there's only so much that we can do. Oh, we just had another bounce there. As you see, like 1 clock cycle, it should have only been 1, but it bounced and did another one. We have another good one. Another good one. Another good one. Another good one. Okay. So in total, here's just my notebook here. So I try to keep track of the values. But we had a bounce on the second one, we had a bounce on number 10, we had a bounce on number 13, and a bounce on number 15. So roughly after 20 tabulations, 20 button pushes, 20 clock cycles, it bounced 4 times, and that's because of how the buttons are set up on the board, and we're going to work on a debouncer for Lab 8 in 2 weeks to account for the bouncing problem. But that is everything for my lab. Let me unincrement this, let me clear it and close it out. That is everything for my Lab 6, and thank you so much for watching.